There seemed to be no color in anything except the posters that were plastered everywhere. The black mustachioed face gazed down from every commanding corner. There was one on the house front immediately opposite. "Big Brother is watching you," the caption said, while the dark eyes looked deep into Winston's own. The way advertisements in 1984 are used is similar to how they are used now. The poster of Big Brother is everywhere, and citizens of Oceania are constantly bombarded with it in his watching eyes. Today, we are subjected to thousands of advertisements a day, and almost anywhere we look, we are met with ads. It was terribly dangerous to let your thought wander when you were in any public space or within range of a telescreen. The smallest thing could give you away. A nervous tic, an unconscious look of anxiety, a habit of muttering to yourself, anything that carried with it the suggestion of abnormality. The party knows who all citizens are and knows what they are doing at all times. Because of this, the citizens of Oceania are constantly worried about being watched through the telescreens and by other citizens. They not only have to make sure they say the right things, but they have to ensure their body language and facial expression are always correct. This is similar to how facial recognition is now being used to identify people and collect information on them, as well as spot suspicious behaviors. There is currently a biometric database which contains info on 1/3 of the American population, but only 1 out of every 8 Americans currently has the right to biometric privacy. This database is being used by law enforcement to identify people, and facial recognition technology is also being used in stores to identify returning customers and potential shoplifters. Microsoft has even patented a billboard that identifies people as they walk by and serves ads that are personalized to search histories. China is currently working on a plan that is translated into Sharp Eyes. This plan entails connecting cameras that scan roads, shopping malls, and transport hubs with private cameras to create a nationwide surveillance and data sharing platform. By having one platform that has eyes everywhere, authorities in the government can use artificial intelligence to find suspects. And, according to a police report, an officer stated that by using a huge national bank of photos and artificial intelligence, it will enable the police to identify the bad guys. According to official documents detailing Sharp Eyes, the program will be used to track suspects, spot suspicious behaviors, and predict crime, coordinate the work of emergency services, and to monitor the comings and goings of people. All of this will be enabled by the rapidly progressing world of artificial technology. China hopes to have the program completely set up by 2020, at which point they will incorporate identity cards, which will contain pictures of faces that link to things such as police records, online purchases, travel bookings, and social media comments. Adrian Zenz, a German academic who researches ethnic policy in China, commented on Sharp Eyes saying that surveillance technologies are giving the government a sense that it can finally achieve the level of control over people's lives that it aspires to. Facebook is one of many companies to use facial recognition technology. However, Facebook's facial recognition technology has a higher capability, which has caused challenges and questioning to arise. Facebook is able to accurately identify a person 98% of the time, whereas the FBI is only able to accurately identify a person 85% of the time. Facebook's accuracy rate is so much higher than others because Facebook has a database of images that is constantly being added to. As well as having multiple photos of people, Facebook has photos from different angles and lighting. This is compared to the FBI's database that may only have 1 or 2 photos per person taken straight on, like a driver's license or mugshot. As Jennifer Lynch said, who is staff attorney at the Electronic Frontier Foundation, it's much harder for face recognition to work when you're trying to identify one person from a very large database versus one from a very small database, which is what Facebook is doing. Facebook is the target of many privacy advocates, not only because their facial recognition algorithm is so accurate, but because law enforcement officials do have the ability to issue a warrant for any information on Facebook, including tagged photos. We consume about 5,000 ads a day through various means. Advertising is an over $100 billion a year industry. Advertisers have been focusing on getting their logo or ad everywhere they can. Among others, this recently includes ads on things such as eggs, the size of buildings, subway turnstiles, to-go boxes and food cartons, the examining table at the doctor's office, and ads on motion sickness bags on airplanes. Linda Kaplan-Thaler, chief executive of a New York advertising agency, Kaplan-Thaler Group, reinforced this by saying, "We never know where the consumer is going to be at any point in time, so we have to find a way to be everywhere." Ads are meant to influence us, and, as the Center for Media Literacy puts it, ads sell a great deal more than products. They sell values, images, and concepts of success and worth, love and sexuality, popularity, and normalcy. Children are especially susceptible to ad manipulation. Research shows that children under age 8 are defenseless against advertising. They do not understand the notion of intent to sell and frequently accept advertising claims at face value. An important asset to digital marketing is behavioral targeting. Many advertisers rely on behavioral targeting as a way to grab the attention of the individual consumer. By using software tools and analytics, marketers are able to tailor web ads to the individual consumer by basing the ads off of the consumer's online behavior. To do this, the software uses what websites the consumers view, the products they research, and how close they come to making a purchase. By individualizing ads, behavioral targeting allows for stronger and more promising leads. However, the marketing technique comes with a lot of controversy. This controversy mainly comes from the usage of cookies, which is what makes behavioral targeting possible. Cookies have the ability to collect user preferences, saved passwords, search histories, contents of electronic shopping carts, and more. While there is the ability to turn off cookies, many sites require the consumer to allow cookies to be able to view the site. By tracking web browsing, emails, chats, and more, Google has become a dominant force in digital ads. It mines that wealth of personal data to present ads to the people most likely to care about them. Google's parent company, Alphabet Incorporated, relied on that ad machine for about 88% of its $75 billion in revenue last year. Ryan Calo, an expert in cyber law and privacy, as well as a professor at the University of Washington School of Law, performed a study on digital market manipulation, in which he found that advertisers can take advantage of a general understanding of cognitive behavior, as well as uncover and trigger consumer frailty. Calo believes that companies will use this knowledge of human psychology to set prices and minimize perceptions of danger or risk. There is an idea called means-based targeting that Calo talks about. Calo says that behavioral targeting is nothing new to digital ads, and that marketers are taking it a step further. He says that digital advertising is now about matching the right advertising pitch with the right person. Marketers will be able to exploit how some consumers tend to deviate from rational decision-making in some situations. The people that will be able to affect change on the Sharp Eyes project are the young engineers who are working on the project and improving facial recognition technology. They need to take into account some of the possible repercussions of the program, like arresting people just based off of suspicious behaviors picked up by the program, or things like the government's use of the program to cut down on dissent. The first step to making sure your privacy is not being violated when it comes to digital advertising is to be aware. Consumers need to be aware of cookies and the techniques that marketing companies employ to manipulate the consumer. If advertising companies attempt to access more private data than they are currently allowed, or if they attempt to manipulate the consumer to the point of violating privacy rights, then the second step should be for regulators and judges to employ more specific laws that protect the consumer from marketing intrusion and manipulation.